Hallo Leute, ich bin Kevin, ich bin Künstler und ihr seht Deutsch für euch.
Knowing things is important, as I'm sure you're aware since you're on an educational channel. That's why today I'm going to talk about two verbs that both mean to know and that are kind of hard to distinguish if you don't have the native speaker intuition to do so. Wissen and kennen both translate to know in English, but are used in very distinct contexts. I'm also including the verb können because it can also translate to know sometimes, and also it's just very similar to kennen, so I just want to make sure that you don't get them confused. Before we get into all that though, let me just mention my sponsor for today's episode, which is Lingoda. Lingoda, who are an online language school who focus on immersion classes, are running another 100% cashback promotion called the Sprint. The Sprint incentivizes you to take one German class every single day for 3 months by offering you 100% of your money back if you actually pull the challenge off. They've successfully been doing this for a while now, and in that time, over 2,500 people have participated in it. So if you want to join those people and learn more about this, stay until the end of the video where I will talk a bit more about the details. So, wissen, kennen, können. Like I said, all three can mean to know, but wissen and können are always translated to know in English. As always, I'm not guaranteeing that there are no rare exceptions to this, but that's the general statement I feel confident to make. So, how do we differentiate? I think the hard part about this for English native speakers is splitting your awareness of to know into different meaning categories. Wissen means to know in the sense of having retained information. Das Wissen is knowledge. So, Wissen means I'm aware of this, I learned this, or I saw this, I read this, whatever. I am aware of a piece of information and I have retained it in my head. That's Wissen. Ich habe sehr viel gelernt und deswegen weiß ich jetzt alles über die deutsche Grammatik. Sag mal, wie schreibt man ehrlich? Weiß ich nicht. Kennen, on the other hand, is to know in the sense of to be familiar with. So this is used a lot with people. So if you know somebody personally, you don't wissen them, you kennen them. So, ich kenne dich means I know you in the sense of I'm familiar with you, I've met you before. Doesn't only apply to people though. I could also say, ich kenne dieses Lied, so I know that song. I'm familiar with it. Ah, ich kenne dieses Lied, aber ich kenne den Text nicht. Dafür weiß ich, wie man es auf der Gitarre spielt. You could also hear or say, ich weiß den Text nicht mehr. I would say that's more colloquial, but it wouldn't be pegged as incorrect. So there's some overlapping cases. Lastly, there's können. Now, können means to be able to. Ich kann schwimmen. I'm able to swim. I can swim. So können is the skill verb, basically. This also applies to some knowledge-based stuff. So, I know German, meaning I know how to speak German, I'm able to speak German would be ich kann Deutsch. To contrast, ich kenne Deutsch or ich kenne die deutsche Sprache would mean I'm familiar with it, I'm aware of it, I know that it exists, but I can't speak it. Ich weiß Deutsch doesn't exist. The same goes for stuff that you learn by heart. Kannst du die Vokabeln? Ja, kann ich. I also think it's very much worth it to be familiar with the conjugations, especially of kennen and können, because they are so very similar. Because of that, I have made a list of all of the conjugations of the verbs, and my $1 Patreon supporters will get access to it. Apart from all this, there's also some grammatical or linguistic distinctions that we can and should make. Kennen only ever appears with nouns or things that are standing in for nouns, like articles or pronouns. So, for example, ich kenne dich, or ich kenne diese Frau, or ich kenne diese Stadt, etc. As we learned in syntax, which I will link again here, noun doesn't always necessarily mean just one word. It can also be a noun phrase. So for example, ich kenne diese Frau, ich kenne diese junge Frau, etc. It can never ever be combined with a verb like können, and it can also never be combined with a clause like wissen can. With wissen, we can of course also combine it with a noun phrase. So for example, ich weiß etwas, I know something. Ich weiß das, I know that. But it could also be a sentence, like in English. Ich weiß, dass du gerne Deutsch lernen möchtest. I know that you would like to learn German. So, ich weiß, das. So while with kennen, it's only a noun phrase, with wissen, it's either a noun phrase or a clause. And then with können, you will mostly see it combined with verbs, although sometimes it's combined with nouns or noun phrases when the verb, the imagined verb, is being left out. So, usually we have stuff like ich kann schwimmen, ich kann reiten, ich kann sprechen, ich kann laufen, etc. But then you will hear stuff like ich kann Deutsch, ich kann einen Handstand. This is colloquial language, but it's used a lot. So I myself would never say ich kann Deutsch sprechen, which is the implied verb here. I always say ich kann Deutsch or ich kann English, etc. Same with ich kann einen Handstand. The implied verb would be ich kann einen Handstand machen. I can do a handstand, but you would never say it. But technically, können is always combined with a verb. As an Eselsbrücke, so like a little reminder, a donkey bridge. As an Eselsbrücke, think of können as always being connected to skills. If the skill is expressed with a verb, that's straightforward. If it is expressed with a noun, you can leave the verb out. So to sum up, let's put them all together in a conversation. Hey, kannst du Deutsch? Ja, ich kann Deutsch, aber ich würde es gerne besser sprechen können. Da habe ich eine Idee. Kennst du Lingoda? Ja, klar kenne ich Lingoda. Cool. Und weißt du auch, dass man da Deutsch lernen kann? Das weiß ich. Ich kenne sogar den Sprint. Ja, super. Dann weißt du bestimmt auch, dass der bald wieder anfängt. Ach ja? Kann ich da mitmachen? Na klar. Und so geht's. So, getting back to our sponsor as promised in the beginning. As you know, I've worked with Lingoda several times in the past, and I've also heard from a lot of people by now that they're very happy with the product. And some of my subscribers, I'm proud to say, have even pulled off the Sprint. The Sprint, of course, includes Lingoda's usual benefits. Doesn't matter where you are and what you do, there's teaching around the clock. And there's also a new feature included in this, which is quizzes. They have just added quizzes so you can test yourself for both German and English, so that's good for us. The next round of the Sprint starts on April 8th, 2020 and will last until July 6th of 2020. This means that you will have time until the end of March to sign up, more exactly March 24th. So that's the cutoff date. Sign up before then. As always, there are two categories that you can join, either the Super Sprint, which is 30 classes a month, meaning one class every day, or the Sprint, which is 15 classes a month, so on average, one class every 2 days. And if you pull it off and you don't miss a single class throughout those 3 months, then you get all of your money back. So if all of this sounds good to you, you can sign up until March 24th, like I said. You will pay a 49 euro deposit. However, that is reduced with my promo code as per usual. So this is the promo code you want to type in. When you use this, your deposit cost will be reduced by 10 euros, which also reduces your overall cost by 10 euros because the deposit is already part of your first payment. So if you want to do the Sprint, you want to save 10 euros, click on the link in the description and use my code. So to sum up, if you want to participate in the full Sprint, you will take 30 German classes per month for 3 months. If you pull off the entire run without missing a day, then you will get all of your money back, so you will get 3 months of German immersion classes for free. All of this information is also on the landing page, which you can reach through the link in the description. If you want to take on this challenge, I of course wish you viel Glück, viel Erfolg, and vor allem viel Spaß. And that's it for today. Your random word of the week is das Waschbecken. The sink. Das Waschbecken. From waschen, to wash, and Becken, the basin. So the washing basin. Das Waschbecken. Jetzt, wo ihr das alles wisst, kann ich die Kamera ausmachen. Ich hoffe, beim nächsten Video kennt ihr mich auch noch. Bis dann. Tschüss.